So Arno is the head of product for risk, and Marius is no stranger to PFA from our savings team, heading up the savings team. Welcome, guys. I'm glad to have you in the studio with me.
Thanks, Dee. Great being here.
Morning, Dee.
So I'm going to kick off with Marius first. And Marius, we did a lot the end of last year around S&I and getting advisors on board with S&I. So my first question for you is, when you look at savings and retirement in 2026, what is fundamentally changing for advisors, and how is S&I positioned for that reality?
Yeah, thanks, Dee, and good morning, everybody. Do you remember back in the day they had competitions where you have a trolley dash and you can fill up your trolley in a Pick and Pay or a shop?
Reggie's Rush.
There we go.
That's it.
I think that 2026 to me feels like that. And the reason I've got a little book here, I usually don't, is because I actually made notes. So I want to just highlight some stuff that Howell said. He spoke about personalized education. I want us just to think about personalized education. And then Mehmet spoke about trusted relationships, and a little bit highlights for me. She also said that 50% of clients have RAs. She also spoke about the age. She spoke about all the tools. So, for me, if I look at what Howell said about geopolitics, all of these things can be very overwhelming for our customers. And I want to give you more statistics now, but I'm going to keep it very brief. The savings and investment monitor last year, 93% of customers says, I want financial education. All right, I want to understand this. There was a marked increase in people's confidence in the economy, significantly more than the last year. 7 out of 10 working people is much more positive about their actual financial situation. Retirement is still the biggest need. And guess what's the biggest reason why customers don't take a retirement annuity? Any idea?
They don't know where to start.
They don't understand it. Exactly right.
Oh.
Right. So now you've got this overwhelming world. We've got all these tools. We've got customers that's ready for us. We've got the trusted relationships. All we have to do is take that next step. So if you look at what is the reason to be positive in 2026, first of all, S&I is flying. We've got 8,888 active policies.
Oh, wow.
And which is fantastic. And thank you for everybody that supported us there. So that's the first one. Second one is we extended the optimal retirement annuity.
That's great.
Right, with the special offer, the extra 1%. Thirdly, is if you look at where the market is now, giving somebody a recurring premium, like Howell said, in a balanced fund, helps you leverage rand cost averaging during these kind of like turbulent times. So I think we've got everything coming together, and I share Howell's sentiment that this year is going to be an incredible year. And I'm so excited about S&I. I'll speak about that a little bit later. But I think this is a trolley dash, and it's up to each of us to take that trolley and go and grab as much as we can. We've got sufficient customers in our base, and then the population says they want to listen to us, and we are trusted. We are the most trusted financial services brand in the country. So we're perfectly positioned to take on the market.
Well, if you are not excited after that, then I don't know, because I am even excited.
Good.
I just want, before I move to Arno, I just want to double click on something you said on the extension on the special offer. So if our advisors has missed it, until when is the special offer extended?
Until the 28th of February, special offer is extended. And you made me think of something. Please don't forget about the Retirement Tools website. The biggest reason customers are going to give you is that I can't afford it. Use the Pay Yourself First calculator. There's so much I can say, but we've got everything there. Speak to your fund and investment specialist. We've got ample tools, but 28th of February it ends.
Okay, thank you. So, Anna, from a risk perspective, when you reflect on 2025 as you joined Old Mutual, what worked well for advisors, and what key lessons would you want us to take into 2026?
Yeah, Dee, so listen, I think the Reggie's Rush analogy is beautiful. I love it. I think we had a brilliant year in 2025. And when I reflect on it, you've got to think about where we started and how it went. We started with a massive deficit to budget. We started slow out of the gate in Q1. It was a difficult start. I think the advisors really pulled up their socks. Mutual came with solutions, and through the efforts of our advisors, we really fought back. We ended the year on 1% under budget. I think it's the closest we've been in ages. I think that's a massive performance. We got really close, but we smashed 2024, 11% up on 2024 for PFA. So that's a great year for AMP. It's a great year for PFA. But when I think about how we got there and what are the things that actually unlocked that, I think the risk specialists work really closely with their management agents, with their management structures, PGM alignment. That was a little bit lost in the COVID years, as were in-person performances and engagements. That came back last year. I think it made a massive difference. And then there was a big focus on advice review, underwriting credits, and discounts. Now, we always have these things, but what impact does that bring to the business? And I think that's what I want to share today, is to say, listen, of the 300 million APE generated in risk sales last year, 84% of that, only 84%, was standard new business, run-of-the-mill, go talk to your advisor and to your client and have a risk conversation. The rest was made up of advice reviews, underwriting credits, special offers and campaigns. So what that tells me is if we ended 1% behind budget, if we didn't do any of that, we would have been 13, 14, 15, 16% behind. So let's use the things we have. And can I say, we've only started to scratch the surface on advice review. There's so many customers that need to have advice conversations. Same with underwriting credit. We've really invested in understanding that process, getting you up-to-date data, live data in dashboards, and we'll roll that out in the next couple of weeks because we realized we're sitting on a treasure trove of information. We want to help advisors to get to a kickstart and actually start the year strong. We don't want to be in a hole again at the end of Q1. And it's really exciting for me to think about these opportunities and what that's going to do for us in 26.
That's a great link to what Marius's conversation started off with, the special offer and the impact that things like that can actually have on business. Because, I mean, which customer is not a sucker for a special offer?
Give me a special offer any day.
It doesn't matter if it's financial services or if it is Checkers or any brand that has a sale. So thank you for sharing that. But what can the advisors look forward to in 2026 from a risk point of view?
Yeah, so listen, I think there's a lot coming. What we've done is we said, let's look at our proposition. Where are we extremely strong? And let's start with that. We've been missing competitor work. We've not been telling people where we are incredibly strong. And we want to start with our game-changing features and with our market-leading products in severe illness. Premium till retirement is going to be relaunched, and Global Select, I think, builds a beautiful bridge between your risk and your investment business. It builds your practice. So those things are the basis of our marketing plan, but everything is going to run from severe illness. And it's not just severe illness, it's the intro to a risk conversation. Mehmet was talking about crazy stats. 33% have a risk policy in place. And I'll show you the stats now on severe illness specifically. There's such a large proportion of customers that just don't have the cover in place. And it's people that have the needs. It's not like we're sitting and saying, these people don't need it, it's incidental, it doesn't matter. It matters to people and to lives. So if you double click on that, and I think this is, I don't want to give death by PowerPoint, but I'm going to put up some slides here just to show a little bit deeper into what Mehmet was sharing. 420,000 customers in the PFA database that we could trace. 2/3 of them are in the ages of 18 to 45. That speaks to the first lie I always hear. Listen, my customers are too old. They're not going to buy severe. They don't actually need it. They've got cash. I mean, we're sitting with 2/3 people in that. That's almost 270,000. And then there's 90% of the customers. That's a big number, 365,000 that have absolutely no severe illness provisioning. And I mean, listen, it's big numbers and it's a big problem. But if I make it a little bit more commercial, we can make it personal as well. We can talk about that. But if we say 90% of these people in your customer base that are of age that need this cover, if we convert 10% of that, at a 500 Rand average premium, that generates 160 million Rand worth of AP. That's more than half of the full production that PFA did in 2025. So it's a real financial opportunity. But if you think about the people and the needs, it's ubiquitous. It's cancer, it's heart attacks, it's strokes. And it's not things that are severe illnesses. It's things that people get disabled from. It's things that people pass on from.
I can't agree more. I mean, if I just think about the amazing customer stories that we've produced, and if you sit in front of a customer and you ask them, do you know somebody in your inner circle that's been diagnosed with cancer, that had a heart attack? I mean, 9 out of 10 times the answer will be yes, correct?
Yes.
So severe illness is that tangible thing that when it comes to risk protection, that people can relate to from a heart and an emotional point of view. And I mean, we have amazing customer stories.
And it needs to be used, and it needs to be that intro to the risk conversation.
Yes.
Because people don't fear severe illness or death, they fear cancer.
Yes.
That's something that happens. And there's benefits that protect you throughout the life journey. And excited to see how we're going to shift that dial this year.
So it sounds exciting, Arno. I want to put Marius on the spot and say, okay, so then what can we expect from the savings team if Arno is planning all of these things?
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm going to give you a bigger trolley.
There we go.
So we both go on a trolley dash. But I started by saying, Al spoke about AI and personalized education, and Met spoke about trusted relationships. Al also said that face-to-face interaction is something that's going to survive.
Yes.
Now, if our customers, 93% of them want education, I spoke about the special offer. If you look at solution recommendation, and you don't treat it as a document, but you treat it as a discussion, you use the opportunity to educate that customer, and that's what that document does, and the process does. You'll create that trust. The customer will understand what they buy. They'll want to keep it as well, so your persistency will increase. So I think that's the bigger trolley, is using solution recommendation, which I think is phenomenal. But there's more things. We've listened to everybody that's been supporting us. So we've approved an additional 100 funds on S&I. We are now negotiating with all the different departments to get those funds loaded. And that's in an effort to also support the PFA Funds House View. So that's the first thing. I don't have specific dates yet, but it's approved. So that's good news. The second piece is we're working with our wealth partners to create a new, call it product house view, which is going to be a little bit more sophisticated. And that works on the go. In fact, we've got our next meeting on Friday, 7th of February. Big release for us. We're hoping to then extend our income pilot. For those of you that don't know, we've got 3 customers that's actually bought a living annuity. We're paying an income for, together with contribution protection benefit, which I think is key for us. Much like Arno, we have done some competitor analysis. I'm in awe of the work that he's done so far, and I look forward to partner with him in terms of that job. But we've got a little bit to share already. And then we're going to improve the optimal booster tool to allow you to go up to 35 years. In fact, I've got the second draft in my inbox, and that's to help the younger customers. So I think just in the first 3 to 6 months of this year, there's 2 very, very big trolleys available, and there's lots of opportunity.
You've been busy.
We have been busy.
And I think if we break it down as we progress during the quarter, and unlock those opportunities for advisors, we can make it very practical in terms of how that can add value. But I really want to thank you for listening always to the feedback that the advisors have been giving and making those changes in the existing things. I really think that do makes a difference.
Thank you.
Ara, so what are you building?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of things, but I want to tease the crowd a little bit today and say I'm not launching anything. I'm saying there's stuff coming soon, and tune in to your local Kickstarts, attend it, be there. We're gonna give you a lot more detail. But I wanna leave you with these 3 levers to dominate, and that's gonna be the things that we launch and that we do in Q1. We always hear there are price challenges and process challenges, ease of business. So that's the NMG studies. We see those themes coming through. When I speak to advisors, I've been in the job back now for 6 months. I've been listening to the field and spending some time to truly understand where we are. And those themes continue to come up. And then market activation and customer engagement are the 3 things. So we decided, let's just go with that as our plan for Q1. We're going to have our discounts relaunched. We're going to share all the details there to make sure that you can compete on price. And when you put packages together, when you sell margin-rich benefits, that you get your customer a competitive offer. I'm going to launch a special offer. I'm not going to tell you more about that now, but I'm going to tell you it's going to be underwriting related and it's going to make it easy. So please tune in and catch me on the podium at the Kickstarts. We're going to tell you all about it. I want you to be excited, want you to be raring to go when you push the button. And then we learned from our friends in S&I. We're going to come with a competition. We really want the customers to be engaged. We're theming it around severe illness. It's going to launch in February. You guys are going to see all about it. And we're going to keep doing that because we realize that we need engaged customers. We can activate customers for our advisors to have these conversations, make it easier, and provide them with the tools and the products and the service they need to really dominate with risk in 2026.
Wow, guys, I think there's so much that is going into the advisor's inbox after this. And then to add to that, there's so much in the pipeline that you are building to help them. So we're really looking forward to that. I want to wrap up and ask Marius, what is, after today, what is the one thing that you want advisors to focus on in the next few weeks?
Well, for me, it's about being deliberate. As today was such a rich session, you have to take 2 or 3 things out of this, whether it's on the protection side, whether it's on the savings side, and say, this is what I'm going to focus on. This is which of these tools or which of this collateral or resources I'm going to use and work towards that plan. Customers are hungry for our solutions and for our conversations. But we're talking with established financial advisors, it's senior people, but be deliberate for a 6-week period. These are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to become an expert in this and I'm going to explore this opportunity. I think there's so much information that you have to pick and choose and you have to drive that quite hard.
Thank you. Arno, from your side?
Yes, please. I was worried that we're going to be running out of time here, but can I just say, go and have a severe illness conversation. Go do it tomorrow, whether you feel comfortable or not. Get your support structures to get your opportunity reports, draw those names, list them, and give someone a call. Send them a customer story, send them the marketing collateral that we've got to prime them for that in the conversation, and just talk about risk. It's something that everyone needs. It looks after someone and their family. Let's just have the conversation. We're going to sell those benefits and we're going to have a great year.